Hey everybody, what's happening? It's AJ here, SnowTrax TV, and we are looking at a 2020 Backcountry X-RS with shot. This is the 146, 1.6 inch ice Cobra track on it. For 2020, you can get this sled with a 2 inch or a 1.6 inch ice Cobra, and we like the ice Cobra because we're not up in the big mountains, and 2 inches kind of sucks on the trail. So this is the perfect kind of blending of on-trail, off-trail. Ski-Doo says that it's their 50-50 sled. We've ridden a lot of 146s, especially this season. There's a lot of 146s coming out. And I would have to say that this sled is more 70-30 off-trail. Maybe you could call it 60-40, but this thing is a beast when you take it in the powder. And that's not to say that it's not good on-trail. It's just there's other models that do better on-trail, and yet those ones will not do as well off-trail. So is this a 50-50? I think it's in the 50-50 crossover category, but I think it does better off-trail than it does on. It's an XRS, so it's got the really good KYB Pro 36 EA front shocks with compression and rebound adjustability. Let me show you those ones. Nice shocks, glove friendly, easy to move. I think they're maybe 16 clicks top and bottom, somewhere in that neighborhood. Super easy to use. They show you where's hard and soft. Same with down here. So you get your rebound on the bottom, compression up top, really good shock. Out back, we lose rebound adjustability, but that's probably all right because most people are just gonna get themselves in trouble with that anyways. You got the Pro 40, so that's a race shock in the back. Notice the size of the piston diameter, super beefy. Up front, you got the 36 EA as well. Easy to reach clicker, angled in the right way. Back here, it's down in between, super easy to get to. Simple, works well, and makes a world of difference when you crank those things up on this sled. It does have a tipped rail. I think from about the rear torque arm mount here all the way back is kind of the sweet spot for the tipped rail. Works really good. So it's 146. It is 16 inch wide, kind of like the Renegades, still same thing, 16 inches wide. This is the Ice Cobra, so you got the pre-molded studs. Works really, 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 really good. See this cup in here? This little cup is like, it's goodness. This is goodness right here. That's what it looks like. And then this is goodness as well. This track, honestly, we're riding in some pretty deep snow. We got probably, I'd say 5-6 feet of snow here. And when we're carving, this has been tracked down so that we can shoot, but when we carve down in through the snow, let me show you what we're trenching. Like, stuff's dropping down. I mean, it's going down at least 24 inches, if not further. And this thing, with a 1.6, just does its job. Gets it done, does exactly what it's supposed to, pulls this thing around. We got it stuck once today, but that was my fault. I got in a big old dirty powder hook and laid it down on its side, and Graham over here with the Alpha 1 had to help me dig out. And yeah, it was, but I mean, this thing's been incredible with a 1.6. I mean, I did not expect it to do as well as it's done. It's really nice this year too. It's the lava red and white. This is an XRS specific color package. You're not gonna find it anywhere else. Really glossy, really tight, nice look. Got the taper bars on it. The risers are reasonable height, not too high, not too low. Works really good. Has shot. You can get it with, or sorry, it's got shot and it's got a rope pull, obviously, because you gotta rope it to get shot to work. Once a day though, and we have been using this thing when we ride for the TV show, which we were doing today. We were doing the test ride for this sled. You literally are using shot every maybe 2 minutes. That's more than enough. It hasn't failed once today. We haven't over drained the capacitor. It just continues to do everything that it's supposed to do. So really, really impressed. Braided brake lines. It's got the hand guards. This one has the new display. I'll fire it up for you. See, shot. I don't have to pull the rope. So you got the new display here. Gives you a whole bunch of new information. You can still go with your main and small, or whatever that's for. I call it main and small because the main one does the main settings, gives you all your info, and then the small one does the little small guy off to the left there for your trip and whatnot. It's a nice gauge. Lots of adjustability on there, lots of info. At night it lights up nice and bright. It does that automatically. It's got a photo sensor, just like your phone, so that it raises the light. Now, one thing I will complain about on most of Ski-Doo sleds, storage. So I've got, as you can see, 2 delicious bottles of water in here and 1 balaclava. And I am literally maxed out for storage. To me, on an XRS, there should be a bag right here that you did not buy as an accessory, but came with the snowmobile. It's just my opinion, but I think for this price and this price point and this buyer, you should get yourself some kind of storage that you can put something in, an extra pair of gloves. Right now, if you put a pair of goggles in that front, like kind of heated storage bin, you're done. There's nothing else you're bringing. You're not bringing an extra pair of gloves, nothing. And I understand that they want to sell accessories, but on an XRS, I think it should come with that kind of stuff. I just think that's one of those things. I think all manufacturers at the higher levels need to add some kind of a storage capacity. It doesn't have to be huge, but something that you can put a pair of gloves in, a couple bottles of water, you know, maybe, yeah, just some of the basics. And this one just doesn't have enough storage in my opinion. Besides that, Ski-Doo is absolutely destroying it with this sled. It's really nice. It works great. I've been shredding all day long on this thing, and I'm nothing short of impressed. Graphics are awesome. Fit and finish is the best in the industry. And I'm just going to come out and say that. It is definitely the best fit and finish in the industry. This is a gorgeous snowmobile. This thing is absolutely just pretty. Everything works the way it's supposed to. It's comfortable to ride. On trail, yeah, I do. Obviously, the sled that we benchmark most on trail, off trail stuff against is the Assault. You know, that's kind of the one that the Switchback Assault obviously is the one that we all sort of say works the best on off trail. This sled works better than the Assault off trail, hands down. Definitely better off trail. On trail, does it ride as well? C-motion isn't bad, but C-motion is kind of a blending of T-motion and R-motion, and it's not as good as either because it has to make a compromise. And I don't believe that it's as good as the Switchback Assault either in the rear end. But take it off trail and it's better. Now, this is a 146, it's not a 144, which the Switchback Assault is. So this is a bit of a different category in my opinion. I know it's only 2 inches, but I mean, dollar for dollar, inch for inch, this is a different sled. And this year there's 3 sleds playing in this category. There's the Riot, that is a 146 and you can get it with 1.6. There is the STX Yamaha, and that is a 146 and you can get it with a 1.6 or a, I believe in season is 225. And so to me, these are 146 inch sleds, and if I'm comparing it against the rest, well, this thing's doing a darn good job. You'll have to just wait and see what happens, but next year we're going to try to do a shootout with those 3 sleds, the Yamaha, the Arctic Cat, and this one. And we're not going to put the Switchback Assault in because we think it's a little bit different. This is a different track length. Yeah, so we're shooting this one different. What else can I tell you about this sled? I'm impressed. I've had a great day. It's been really, really fun. The front end, I know that I complain about Ski-Doo's front end, the RAS3. I complain about it sometimes. In an X package or a lower model, I find that you can overdrive the front end if you really push it super hard and you're running, you know, you're just running through the chop like a maniac, you know, driving really fast, not like a maniac, you know what I mean, but riding super hard, super fast, super aggressive, and it gets really whooped out. It's a Sunday afternoon and the trails are beat. I find that RAS3 with the basic monobody non-adjustable shock can be overdriven, and it gives me just a little bit of feedback that I don't prefer. This sled with the KYB Pro 46 or Pro 36 EAs is very different than that. It works exceptionally well, and to overdrive this front end, you'd pretty much have to be a snowcross racer. Yeah, I mean, I've been pushing it today. We've been jumping just about everything, going crazy, having fun, and I haven't found the bottom of the front suspension yet. So works really good. On trail works well, and I'm less you know, kind of negative about the front end when you put these nice shocks on here, because they really do get rid of a bunch of the characteristics that I don't love. Now, one of the big questions everybody always says is, yeah, it's 146, probably pushes like, you know, a broom. It doesn't. It's not that bad. I mean, keep in mind it's a G4, and what do G4s do? Handle like they're on rails, right? The front end pretty much feels like it's bolted to the ground when you're going through the corner. It barely ever, you know, yeah, it's just usually at the end of the day, you know, some of the complaints that we may have is you feel a little bit more worked on your upper body because G4s take a little more effort because they're stuck to the ground, you know. Some of the other sleds float a little bit more, some of them push too much. A G4 does not push, and in this chassis, I think actually with a longer track, what you get is a track that actually pushes the front end almost a little bit nicer through the corner. Now I will say, if you get into braking bumps and you get into, you know, corner exit whoops, you know, you're on the gas, sure, the 146 doesn't handle as well as an R-Motion. It's just not going to. If you come off a backcountry, or sorry, if you come off a Renegade with R-Motion and a Renegade X-RS with R-Motion, don't expect the sled to ride like your sled. It's not going to. Likewise, if you go off trail with your Renegade X-RS with R-Motion, don't expect it to handle like this sled, because it won't. This thing will absolutely destroy your Renegade X-RS off trail. Like, not even the same category, not even close. Now, likewise, I would say to a lot of those folks who are out there riding free rides and summits, you know, you're in Quebec, you're in Ontario, you know, flatland areas of, you know, the UP and other areas in the Midwest, or, you know, northern states. Yeah, you probably don't need your free ride, you probably don't need your summit. This sled with the 2-inch on it will do so much more than you think it will. So, but when you take it out on the trail and you're riding the trail to get to those places that you want to play, yeah, this thing is going to be like 10 times better than a free ride. You're not going to get beat up and kicked around and bucked around. Sure, if you're dropping massive cornices and you're ripping everything that you can find and you're, you know, wanting to backflip your sled, well, free ride's probably the place for you. But this sled really needs to be looked at by a lot of people who are looking at that free ride. I know you can get the free ride in the 137. That's kind of a bit of an anomaly. That's a weird sled with the R-Motion in it. Little bit different story, but this sled will destroy a free ride with the 137. This thing's way better. So anyways, Ski-Doo pretty much offers a little bit for everyone in every category, every length, every option, every track, every lug, every graphic, every cool piece of technology possible to put on a snowmobile they seem to have and do. So is it perfection? It's not quite yet, but I'll tell you what, it's getting darn close. I think there's just that little bit of you know, on-off trail thing. I think if they called it like a 60-40 or a 70-30, I'd have to agree, and I'd say in that category, the thing would be next to impossible to beat. But when you say true 50-50 on-off trail, yeah, I don't think it doesn't handle as well on trail as it does off. It's a beast off trail. On trail, you got to work at it just a little bit more. Is it bad? No, it's not bad, but there are some out there that are doing a bit better job on trail, but not as good off trail. So you really got to choose what you're doing. If you're riding off trail more than you are on, if you're that 70-30 guy, this sled's going to keep you real happy. If you're the guy who's opposite, you're 70% on trail, 30% off, then there's probably another sled that you should choose. But I'll tell you what, if you like ripping off trail, the Backcountry X-RS for 2020 with shot in the 850, yeah, it's pretty premium. Solid sled, really good, super impressed with it, very happy. Again, this isn't just seat of the pants after, you know, 2 minutes. We've been hauling on this thing all day. You know, had it stuck, had it upside down and backwards. You know, been railing it off everything we can and having a blast, and it's performed really well. So good job to Ski-Doo. They need a pat on the back for this one. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy it, and you'll be seeing a full test ride on SnowTrax TV on the 2020 season. So stay tuned for that, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it.